So, okay, guys, in the last class, we understood big O, big omega, and big theta notations, right? So, what we are doing, why we are studying those one only? Because we are doing approximation of time complexity of any algorithm, right? So, when we are saying that we are doing those things for time complexity purpose, what it directly means that we are judging running time of an algorithm, right? Of designed algorithm which we have designed for any specific type of problem, right? So let us start. If we want to know the time complexity, then how we will do that? Before this you understood this time complexity measurement or approximation of time complexity on mathematical basis. Now let us understand it in practical way, right? So when we are measuring or analyzing time complexity, definitely we are going to analyze any algorithm, right? Any one algorithm we will analyze it for any algorithm, right? But when we are going to analyze any algorithm, definitely we have different types of algorithms we have. So there will be different types of working or different types of methods of analyzing the time complexity on the basis of types of algorithm. So one should know before going to the time complexity measurement that our algorithm, majorly our algorithm is of two types, right? Or we can say algorithm could be of two nature, right? Some algorithms work on iteration basis and some algorithm works on recursion basis, right? So our algorithm, two types of our algorithm will be iterative algorithm, or we can say if we want to refer algorithm, this type of algorithm we will say it is a iterative algorithm, and we can refer it second one as recursive algorithm, because these are the two method of processing the instructions of algorithm, right? So what is the difference between iterative and recursive? See, you all understood or you all studied programming language C in your previous semester, then definitely you have faced these two terms in your study, iterative and recursive. So what is the difference here? All two are all two both two are seems both two seems equivalent, or in literature it will be used as synonyms, but in working pattern those are different from each other, right? Both can be used in place of each other, but the working pattern of these two types of algorithm will be different. So definitely we will have, if we want to measure or we want to analyze the time complexity of algorithm, we need to know that this algorithm is iterative one or रिकर्सिव वन, राइट? व्हाट इट मीन टू से कि भाई अगर हमें किसी एल्गोरिथम का टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी मेजर करना है, तो भाई हमारे पास एल्गोरिथम दो तरह की होती हैं जनरली, जो इटरेशन को यूज़ करती हैं या फिर जो रिकर्सन को यूज़ करती हैं, राइट? तो इटरेशन में मतलब वो स्टेप वाइज नंबर, कुछ सम नंबर ऑफ स्टेप्स होते हैं जिनको वो वन आफ्टर अनदर एग्जीक्यूट करती है, फिर दोबारा से वापस आती है स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट पे, राइट? That means in this case we can have, let's say we can have um, instruction 1, instruction 2, instruction 3, instruction 4, all should be executed in this manner one after another, right? After completing this fourth instruction in the iteration, what we will do, we will go to the instruction number 1 again, then again execute instruction number 2, then again execute instruction number 3, then again execute instruction number 4, and in the next time again we will start by step number 1, right? So in this way iterative algorithm works, right? In the On the other hand, here this 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 will be achieved here also with using recursion, where you are going to call a function itself by that function, right? That means function calls itself on regular basis or on iterative basis, right? So difference, if you want to understand the difference, see, here you are having set of instructions and series of instructions which are going to have execute in a stepwise manner only, right? And after that you are going to step number 1. But here a function calls itself is the case. Let's say there is some statement, and after that there is a function, and in the function itself you are calling same function again. See, so we cannot say that every time we will go to the first instruction only. Maybe the chance in the function itself we are calling this function again. So there is a slight difference, right? I think you got my point. Let us understand it by simple general code, right? Let's say let's say we have some algorithm A0 such that for where the code is written is something like that: for I equals to 1 to n, I equals to n, and in this we are going to call a function max a and b. See, this is pseudocode. It will not match syntax by syntax. It will a pseudocode which will define only logic of that particular program or that particular algorithm, right? So loops are the example of iterative algorithms. If your algorithm is having loops, what that means, that is a type of iterative algorithms. On the other hand, let's say there is a function like that, there is some condition over there. On the basis of this, it is calling itself a, this is a n, and it is calling n by 2, right? So here, yeah, now you can if you are going if you go one by one, instruction by instruction, you will find the difference. Here in case of iterative algorithm, here there is a loop, this for loop, and this for loop is finding a maximum of a and b. Let's say this function is taking argument a and b at the input and finding the maximum of those two numbers, right? So until unless this I is not equals to n, this loop will continue to execute, right? For I equals to 1, it will print max of ab. For I equals to 2, it will print max of ab. For I equals to 3, it will print max of a3, like that till we are not getting I equals to n. That means for I equals to n minus 1, till I equals to n minus 1, it will print max of this one, right? So what we are doing, that there is a single statement which is executing iteratively, right? Regularly on the basis of some looping condition, right? So here it is not calling itself here. It is simply looping all the time until we are not getting I equals to n, right? So that means this statement will execute n number of time due to this loop, that same statement, right? So this is a kind of iterative algorithm, right? So in this case the observation and or analysis will be different. We will analyze this type of interesting algorithm differently than this one. How? Because here the case is different. Now you are in this code, in this pseudo code, what you are doing, there is some condition defined that, let's say, I should be less than equals to n. Let's say, if condition we are checking that I is less than n or not. If I is less than n, then you will execute this statement. Now see the difference here. In this case, what will happen if, let's say, for I equals to 1 and we have n defined as 5, right? So for I equals to 1, what will it will do, it is calling another function with the same pattern. See, an, this is the an function, and it is the function an by 2. What it means, it is calculating the function for n by 2 value, right? So that means it is the next function. That means if whenever you are going to execute this instruction, what it mean to say, another an, or we can say an by 2. It is, you can refer it as an, right? Another function will be called here. Condition will be same as this code is having, and in this condition you are having another n by 2, right? Right. Let me write it again clearly so that you will understand it better. Now you will see the difference, that what is the difference between iteration and recursion. Okay, now first time for I equals to 1, let us say I equals to 1, it is it has started execution, and for I equals to 1, this statement will execute. We are going to execute this statement for I equals to 1 first, right? Because n is 1 is less than equals to 1 5. That's why we have to execute this one. Now see here, when you are going to execute this function call, what it means to say that you are going to execute an again. How? The difference is the same. Difference is the only that n is replaced by n by 2 here. If it is calling an by 2, what it means to say that you are calling that same function again. So what you have to execute again, if condition you have to again execute again, and in the if condition again you have to call n by 2. So for here n by 2 will be equals to n by 4, because here n is n by 2, so that's why n by 2 will be replaced by n by 4. Okay, now again, whenever at the same time when you are calling this function here, that means this function, in the same function you are again calling this function. So here when we write an and same code, if same code, and if an by 2 again, what it means to here, n value n will be n by 4, and n by 2 will be n by 8, right? Until unless you will not getting a single function after this call, again you will call same function, again this will call same function, until unless you are not getting same function for the value of 1 at the last. If you are getting for the value of 1, you have created, that means, what it means, you are calling same function, this function again inside the loop, inside the function, and again inside the function you are calling same function again. That means you are recursively calling same function, fn, recursively calling same function, right? Until unless your condition doesn't match, right? In this way your recursion works. right? So the difference is here all the time you are executing single instances of all the statements in the loop, but here you, if your function is having 10 line of code, those 10 of line of codes will be called until unless your condition will not satisfied, or your if condition will not break, right? So that means you are recursively calling function inside the same function, right? यानी कि एक फंक्शन है उसके अंदर आपने उसी फंक्शन को कॉल कर दिया, फिर जब आपने ये काम किया तो एक ट्री टाइप का स्ट्रक्चर बन जाएगा आपका, कि एक फंक्शन के अंदर उसकी कॉल को कॉल किया, जब उस फंक्शन को एग्जीक्यूट करेंगे तो अगेन वो फिर अपने अंदर भी उसी फंक्शन को कॉल कर रहा है, ऐसे ऐसे करके वो नीचे बॉटम तक जा रहा है आपका, राइट? तो डिफरेंस देख रहे हो, कॉम्प्लेक्स हो गया अब यहाँ पर, अब आपकी प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पर आपकी एल्गोरिथम कॉम्प्लेक्स हो गई इससे, या रिकर्सन जो है आपका ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स है आपका, इससे कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी जो है वो रिकर्सन की ज़्यादा है, राइट? इस केस में तो आपका सिंपल है कि भाई वन आफ्टर अनदर यही सेम स्टेटमेंट घूमती रहेंगी, राइट? बट यहाँ पर क्या है कि यहाँ पर सेम स्टेटमेंट घूमती रहेंगी अनटिल अनलेस आपका रिकर्सन कंप्लीट ना हो जाए, राइट? जब तक आपकी वो कंडीशन पे ना पहुंच जाओ, एंड कंडीशन पे ना पहुंच जाओ, बाउंड्री कंडीशन पे ना पहुंच जाओ। तो डेफिनेटली अगर आपको पता है, इफ यू नो दैट इटरेटिव एल्गोरिथम्स are easier to handle and recursive algorithms are tougher to handle, definitely the analysis will be tougher for your recursive type of algorithm, right guys? So that's why we need to understand that if recursion is happening in the code, definitely we need to calculate time complexity differently, and in the case of iterative algorithm we need to calculate our uh, time complexity in different way. So I think this discrimination you understood, that there is slight difference. Where this may be the case that both will give you both type of algorithm you can use for single type of task, but approach is totally different. Here you are going under and underneath, calling function under and under and under, but here only we are looping the statements only, we are not calling the function again itself in the iterative algorithm, right? So this is the main difference, and we need to take care of this during evaluation of time complexity, and we need to take different type of approaches when we are going to analyze iterative one, or when we are going to analyze recursive type of algorithm during time complexity measurement, right? So let us understand by example. Let us say we have algorithm. Let's say we have algorithm A where integer variable is defined, right? And this is for iterative. This is a type of iterative algorithm. Let us say we are executing for I equals to 1 to n, and we are simply printing ECE inside the loop, and we are just closing the function, right? So this algorithm, let's say a algorithm is there. What it does, it simply print ECE n number of times. Now if we want to measure that how much time, how will it take, it will be totally dependent on how much time we are going to execute this statement. So we need to find here that how much time this statement, this step or statement is going to print. So now check your code, pseudocode, that this EC will print, let's say for example n value is 2, n value is 2, definitely then what it mean to say, EC will print 2 times. For n value 3, it will print 3 times. For n value of 10, it will print 10 times, right? And for n value of n minus 1, definitely if we generalize it, it will print n minus 1 times, right? So what we are saying, that for n value equals to n, it will print n times, right? So definitely by observing this code, we can say that the time complexity of this algorithm will be order of n, right? What is the value of n? The value of n will be decide that this how many number of times this printing will be done, right? That means the time complexity of this algorithm will be order of n, right? Now come to, let's say some other function. Let's say for some other function, let us say, let we have some other function a or b. Let's say in this case, second example, let us assume it b. We have other function b, uh, b or algo b, where you have defined int I, j, and you have one for loop for I to n. This is pseudocode, that's why I am not writing every line of code perfectly. I am simply doing it by using pseudocode. And in the for loop itself, I have another for loop. Let's say this is the one for loop, and another for loop we are having for j equals to 1 to n, for example, let's say. And inside this loop I am printing ECE. Now observe the problem, that how much time complexity will be there. So whenever you are going to judge, you can see in this loop EC will print n times. But if we are saying that these are nested loop, definitely this loop is also running for n times. See, I for I to 1, I to n, i's value should be until unless I is not equals to n, and this loop is moving to j to n, right? So that means this loop will the printing loop will run n times, and in the same way the outer loop will be will run n times, right? n times, n times. So definitely ECE is going to be print how many times? N into n, that means n square times. So definitely here in this case, if we see the code, pseudocode, you can judge that EC is going to print n square times, because first loop will run second nested loop for n times, and in the second nested loop EC will print n times. So definitely there is n square times will be there for printing of EC. So this statement will run for n square times. So we can say for this algorithm we can have time complexity order of n square, right guys? So this is how we handle our iterative algorithm, because these both are iterative algorithms, right? This is also iterative and this is also a iterative algorithm. Now come to recursive method, recursive algorithm. Calculate how we will calculate recursive algorithm, right? So now let us say for recursive algorithm we have example recursive algorithm, we have example. Let me choose other color for better understanding. Example, our algorithm example is what is happening. Okay, so recursive algorithm, we have, let's say we have one function an, and inside the loop, if n is greater than 1, we are returning a n minus 1. So now you can check that here this function is calling itself again, right? Here in the return statement, it is calling this this sorry this it is calling, this function is calling itself again, but difference is only that in place of n you are having n minus 1. So you can say it is a similar function, it is a similar kind of function like an. So in this case, whenever you are going to handle this type of algorithm, you need to use a method which is called as back substitution method. Substitution method. In this case, we are going to analyze our algorithm back propagate करके, back substitution करके, right? So here, if you see the code, let's say this code, you can easily say that you can easily time complexity of this algorithm will be 1 plus t n minus 1, right? Because for nth value, first time when it runs, there will be a time taken by this first call. After that, it inside the function, it is calling itself again. Now what will happen next time? What will happen next time when it is calling this one, we can say that time n minus 1 will be equals to 1 plus t n minus 2, right? Because just like you replace tn with tn minus 1, definitely tn minus 1 will be replaced by tn minus 1, tn minus 1 minus minus 1 again. Definitely it will be going to happen n minus 2. That's why we have written n minus 2. So now in the this call we can write computation time like this. Now further we are going down. For t n minus 2 will be equals to 1 plus t n minus uh, 1 2 3 3, right. So in the similar way, you can see that there is a chain, we are having established chain of rules where a function calls itself again, if again this function calls itself again, this function calls itself, right? In the similar way, this execution of program will happen, and the total time complexity will be summation of these all coming under the tree, right? So now when you are going to let's say at the last, when t n minus n minus 1, when the last statement n minus 1 will be there, then it will be equals to 1 plus t n minus n. I think it will get 0. That's the boundary condition at the last, after iterating n number of times, when we will come back to this term, it will get 0, right? So in the same way, when you are going to judge the total time tn, it will be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus like that, and in the last tn, right? But but before that we have let's say we have in the last, when we will accumulate these all calls, we will have 1 plus 1 plus dot and plus n and the last, right? Okay, now when you see this statement, you come to know that this total time is of order of n, right? Now you can say that this recursive algorithm, by using back substitution method, this recursive algorithm will take order of n times, right? Right, guys? I think this is clear to you. Otherwise, we'll discuss it to next session. That's all for today, guys.